Depending on the time of year. You might need as much as 60 in the summer, as little as 30 in the winter. So that's why we haven't done mister, it's too humid.
But it would be intolerable in there. Nothing would grow if we didn't have that mister. It's only 11 by 20, so 9 foot high. So
and then that adds your 30%.
Actually, there's 8 in the fabric itself, 30 on top, 22 inside. So we get to a total of 60 when we need it.
Okay.
Dana, what about?
So that is 22.
Yes.
Okay.
What about like swamp cooler stuff like that? Is humidity control, is it a problem? And you put some kind of water misting?
We haven't tried it, but just because of humidity levels that we hit in here in the summer, we think it would probably just create too moist an atmosphere.
Right. That's what I read about the swamp. I thought that swamp cooler might work too.
Now, if you go over to Epcot and they have that one greenhouse that's an enormous swamp cooler, but then it's also it's controlled atmosphere. So really, I mean, they're able to pull out that excess, and it works. So if you have the capacity to do that, sure. But in this setting, I don't think it would work.
If you were up north or something, it would probably work.
Yeah, or in a dry climate, absolutely. Sorry?
I
Yeah.
think they're using more than 118 watts.
Yeah, I think so.
That's why the tickets cost you so much to get in.
Anybody else? All right.
Are your worms actually in the media?
Yep, 5,000 worms.
Just put them in and
Today.
Not the dirt. Do not put the dirt.
No,
the worms come with.
just the worms. So you just put
Rinse them off with rainwater.
Yep.
Don't
Can
use
I get some
chlorine.
to go fishing?
You can dig them out. Yeah, they're kind of reclusive. You got to dig in there a little bit to find them, but once you find them, they're all towards the bottom.
I noticed that you've got the gravel.
Red wigglers.
Do
Yeah.
you have a problem with them drowning?
No, because of the action of the siphon of the flood drain, they get plenty of oxygen.
And they're used to living in a pretty moist environment.
Yeah, I just know that because of the siphons that I use, it's just a loop, and it's a regular garden hose diameter, so they don't drain quite as fast as I'd like them. But I'm switching right now. I just didn't know how long they can go before.
That will be part of your issue. The other issue might be not enough oxygen for your plants. That action of that siphon sucking that water out really quick is what draws the oxygen down into the medium. Yeah, just recently was World Water Day. I don't know if anybody picked up on any of that. It was last month, March 22nd. Really cool shirts. Chris Shoup for the Aquaponics Association, she's our PR director, actually created this logo. You can get these online. You can go through a link on my website. There's also a link on the aquaponic gardening community. But they're really cool. All the money. I'm sorry?
Can you get into the association?
No, I think the link's still up on the association page as well.
Because we joined yesterday.
Great. What was your name?
Melvin Maswell.
I remember seeing your email. In fact, you should have gotten one from me last night about 2 in the morning.
I did.
2 in the morning.
Yes. If you guys email me, expect emails from really bizarre times in the middle of the morning, late at night. That's when I get to most of that stuff. But yeah, so cool t-shirt. We learned a lot of stuff about water usage for agriculture. You're probably familiar maybe with the 70% mark that all fresh water, or 70% of all fresh water on the planet is used for agriculture. They just upped that to nearly 90%. Yeah. Oops.
And the water usage on this is what? 10% of that?
Less than 10%.
Less than 10%?
Yes.
So water being the new oil, as
it really is.
down,
It's not just the water, it's available land, nutrient land.
Yeah, the
40%
United States,
of the land mass.
government just commissioned basically a top secret report on determining water as a security measure.
Oh.
And we've, of course, analyzed everywhere in the globe and determined where the conflict zones are. And
I hope they don't start telling us we can't catch rainwater.
Yeah.
Drum of oil for drum of water.
Yeah. I don't know if any of you saw it, but a couple of years ago, before he got disgusted and kind of run out of town by the government, Jesse Ventura did a series called Conspiracy Theory.
Oh, yeah.
And it's available online, through TV,
Yeah.
and he did a whole segment on this issue of water.
Right.
Really
Like in
was
Colorado, it's illegal
the
to
water rights out
catch
west.
rainwater.
Yeah,
It's already, quote, bought before it falls.
Yeah.
Wrong. I'm sorry. That's like, what are they going to do? Charge us for air?
And
Well,
Florida
that's what
by the way,
the cap and trade thing is
We
about.
have to stop that
legislation
stuff.
is trying to
That's all
pass
there
a
is to
bill
it.
that's going to do the way riparian rights are distributed around where you own property and like where you're near a lake. So it's going to actually take away, like, in some areas, if you live next to a lake, your property rights go way out into the lake, and it's going to take away tens of thousands of acres of
They're basically going to swoop in and steal all the water.
Steal all the
Agenda
water.
21, yeah.
When, as far as I'm concerned, if you're on the planet, you have a right to water, you have a right to air.
Well,
Scary.
it's what's being done though, and people are allowing it to be done.
We have to stop
Actually,
it.
many of these
Get
rainwater
loud.
laws started in the 50s.
Get
People
loud.
think that it's something new, and it's not. It's something that's been around for a while. They cut off people in California a long time ago from taking rainwater.
Yeah, what is that saying about, something about?
As far as from your business aspect, what would you say would be your biggest marketing or sales
Hurdle?
Yeah.
Actually, no. It's been the delivery, the storing it, cold storage, delivering it with cold. We used to basically own lots of coolers and an ice machine. So it's just for a small grower. We just don't have, or we didn't have, the stuff that typically a farm has in order to get their product cooled and transported. We've
So you need a building
We've since
that's a cool building.
solved that problem.
Now, as far as your market, you mentioned that you primarily go towards restaurants and the end user. Is that in the major metro areas that you, like basically Tampa and that sort of thing, that you,
Yes.
you target for that?
Yeah. Yeah, of course, obviously not
Except
chain
for Whole Foods.
restaurants or things like that.
Right.
But just and you build a really nice relationship with chefs, and they're when
Can you get this? Can you get that? And you
Yeah.
say, I'll try. See what works.
Now, I'm just curious, how do they market what they're selling? Because obviously you don't want to pass on the cost, so you're not organic certified. So they can't quite say, I'm serving you organic products. I'm just curious, like, it's probably not a question for you, but I'm curious about how they're marketing your product to their
primarily
clients.
with the locally grown. They might say organically
They can
grown.
say
Anybody wants to look up aquaponics or see things. Yes, those kind of
See,
things.
but that right there is again one of the top things on the Aquaponics Association's list.
Get
of
the word out.
Get the word out, so that when people see aquaponically grown, they automatically go, "Oh, chem-free, better than organic, no fertilizer, it's fish." And they have an automatic understanding of what this is, and that they know they're getting a superior product.
Get loud.
Yeah.
One thing I think is, were you a member of, like, the HBA or AGC when you were in construction? The
I
Home
was
Builders
not.
Association?
Builder Association?
No,
Just
that's-
like I was at Fernando County, but it was.
Just wondering, because I mean, I came from working from several large organizations, mainly associations like the SAE and INCE, the Association of Society Executives. So once the Aquaponics Association has a CEO, they would become a member of that association.
Okay.
So it's a association of
The professional
association
organizations,
executives.
professional.
Yeah.
Association
So
executive.
working with those groups, you really do learn that associations run the country. They run the world. And, when we have a larger group or a larger voice as a group, it's going to do leaps and bounds for the industry. It really is. I mean, it's a very powerful thing.
Thank you.
It's a very, very powerful thing. Of the local marketer or the local farmer.
And they specifically set it down.
And youthfulness. That's one of the key things that we really need in America. The average age of people that produce our food is 57.
You're retiring.
I mean, that's 10 years or less from retirement. I
Yeah.
mean, so it really is, the onus is on people of our age groups and stuff to really,
Replace that generation, absolutely.
from what I've researched, we have been doing commercial aquaponics for 2,000 years.
Yeah.
So,
Egyptians.
I
He
mean,
said some Asian
Egyptians.
country, he said he wasn't sure which one. He said he thought it was
Well,
China.
Kuwait-
Is that a fact?
Egyptian, absolutely, they actually
rice
were
fields have
doing it on the
fish going in
Nile.
them all the time.
Okay.
So that's one of the primary
Rice fields in the
instances.
Asian countries.
Okay.
It's just this is
still are.
the
Okay.
let's just say this is the controlled way. I just basically biomimicry is what we're talking about.
Well, I've
This
done papers
This is
on
biomimicry.
biomimicry. Yeah.
Basically, we're taking a system that nature does herself, and we're using it in a controlled way to benefit ourselves without harming
Right.
Mother Nature.
Yeah, I've done
Taking her system and specifically making it do what she does naturally to our benefit,
right.
and not
The biomimicry aspect of this is what attracted to me in the first
the
place.
cyclical. It's just the way it blows my mind.
Yeah, a really kind of neat thing to discuss with aquaponics that we're starting to hear more and more is whether or not aquaponics can feed the world. I mean, everybody would like to think that it can, and I would kind of like to offer a little bit different perspective on that. Can it eradicate and replace agriculture, what we know is big ag right now? Most likely not. There's
Because
one
the-
huge drawback: grains.
Brain.
because of the immense amount of land mass that it takes to grow our grains, and I mean that sustains life. Yes, the vegetables are great, we have a protein source, we can produce minerals and definitely keep people more healthy with it. However, the fact that it does not grow grains is one of the shortcomings for aquaponics.
Of course.
However, they're starting to do research with rice. Rice grows in water anyway.
Right.
It should grow rice no problem.
Right.
Well, shouldn't the media system grow corn?
It
and
could,
other
but again,
woody
because the
vegetables?
amount of
Mari
A lot of
does.
area.
land area that it would
Yeah.
require, that's probably where the problem's going to lie.
That's where I think vertical.
Right.
Vertical
I'm
could certainly do that. Grow the tomatoes, the cucumbers, the eggplant, the peppers, you name it, all the leafy greens and herbs this way.
Right.
The land mass that's being absorbed to grow everything can now concentrate on growing the grains. We can definitely take some of the burden off our current agricultural land.
Exactly.
Can it,
And the water
it
usage,
in and of itself,
chemicals.
can it replace it? Yeah, probably not.
Not unless we
Can
give
it
up
be
a lot of
can it
grains.
be nice husbandry and work hand in
I guess
hand?
the juxtaposition to that argument is the grain is really what allowed culture to develop. It's what allowed us to take over the world, basically.
Right.
Primarily the protein provided in wheat is one of the primary staples behind that sort of industry. If we're growing these sorts of foods and protein on a local, sustainable level, it lessens the need.
Exactly. Exactly.